No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. A good head and good heart are always a formidable combination. But when you add to that illiterate tongue or pen, then you have something very special. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. As I have said, the first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. Great peacemakers are all people of integrity, of honesty, but humility. A leader is like a shepherd. He stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble go out ahead, whereupon the others follow, not realizing that all along they are being directed from behind. I am the captain of my soul. One of the things I learned when I was negotiating was that until I changed myself, I could not change others. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It always seems impossible until it's done. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. There were many dark moments when my faith in humanity was sorely tested, but I would not and could not give myself up to despair. That way lays defeat and death. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. Lead from the back, and let others believe they are in front. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. If you talk to a man in language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity. It is an act of justice. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. Sometimes it falls on a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Where you stand depends on where you sit. Appearances matter, and remember to smile. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is inspiring others to move beyond it. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. You will achieve more in this world through acts of mercy than you will through acts of retribution. One cannot be prepared for something while secretly believing it will not happen. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Nothing is black or white. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Know your enemy and learn about his favorite sport. It is not where you start, but how high you aim that matters for success. I am not an optimist, but a great believer of hope. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that generation. Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them. One cannot share their hopes and aspirations, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, or savor their songs. Let there be justice for all. Let there be peace for all. Let there be work, bread, water, and salt for all. Let each know that for each the body, the mind, and the soul have been freed to fulfill themselves. Your playing small does not serve the world. Who are you not to be great? Quitting is leading to. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my destiny. There is a universal respect and even admiration for those who are humble and simple by nature, and who have absolute confidence in all human beings irrespective of their social status. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. We must use time creatively and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. Tread softly, breathe peacefully, laugh hysterically. The brave man is not the one who has no fears, he is the one who triumphs over his fears. I have never cared very much for personal prizes. A person does not become a freedom fighter in the hope of winning awards.